Hi you guys, so I wanted to jump in and give you a little tutorial on how I do my meal prep with the 21 Day Fix containers. And I've been following this program, it was my very first program when I first started, so I've had it for just about 3 years now. And I've definitely picked up some different tricks and 21 Day Fix hacks that make your meal prep a little bit easier along the way. And I know that a lot of times when people get their kit, they open it up and they look at all the containers, and the first thing I always hear is, oh my gosh, this isn't going to be enough food. And first of all, you actually get multiple containers. So you get multiple red containers, multiple green containers. So don't think that you only get one container amount for each color. It's actually a lot of food. And the number one thing that I get from my clients is when they start following the program and they realize how much food it is, the number one complaint I get is they can't finish all of the food. So it's actually the opposite problem. So don't stress about the amount of food, and that's always something that you can adjust. You can always throw in some extra veggies. You can throw in an extra protein. You can kind of adjust what you're doing if you're not getting enough food and you're feeling a little lethargic, like you need a little bit more energy. So that's something that you can work with me on, or whoever your coach is. Now, I keep my meal prep pretty simple. I'm the type of person, I'm not super picky with foods, so it is a little bit easier for me to pick recipes. But what I typically do, and it's just my husband and I, so there's just two of us in the house and he eats what I eat. So it's not like we have a family, but this definitely can be adjusted. If you have a family or if you have kids, there are a lot of 21 Day Fix recipes that are husband approved and kid approved. And I definitely recommend taking a look at the pamphlet, the little nutrition booklet that comes with 21 Day Fix. There are a ton of really great recipes in there. I also have the Fixate cookbook, which comes with 101 recipes that Autumn Calabrese put together with her brother, who is actually a professional chef. So she worked with him on this cookbook and they came up with these recipes. And we use these recipes all the time. They're phenomenal. They taste amazing. They're really easy to follow, even if you're not great in the kitchen. And the other resource I'll mention is the teambeachbody.com blog. So if you go on to teambeachbody.com, log into your account, you'll have access to the blog there. And what's great about the blog is there is a ridiculous amount of recipes, but they give you the container allotments for all the color codes. So it'll give you the recipe and it'll tell you, how many reds, greens, purples, whatever are in that recipe, so you can kind of fit it into your plan. So when you're going out looking for recipes, check those resources. They're really great resources. And this is a very simple breakdown of how I plan my week. So usually going into the weekend, we usually grocery shop on the weekends, but going into the weekend, what I'll do is I will pick a couple of different recipes. So you can see here at the top, my hack is a crock pot. If you don't own a crock pot, you need to run out and buy a crock pot right now and use it. It is the best time saver. When I was working in the corporate world and coaching on the side and had like 3 jobs, crock pot saved our lives. You can literally throw stuff in there, set it and forget it, and it makes things so easy. So I almost always, especially in the winter, I almost always do a crock pot recipe every single week. And what's great about that is you can pick a recipe that's freezable. Same with regular recipes too, but oftentimes one of the 2 recipes that I pick for the week, I will double it and freeze some of it. So for example, the recipe for 21 Day Fix turkey meatballs is one of my favorites. We eat it all the time, and I'll oftentimes double that recipe and freeze half of the meatballs, so that way I have some for later if I want to use them a different week, or if I'm in a pinch when we run out of food, then we always have that backup plan and another option. So I'll usually pick one crock pot recipe and then one regular recipe. That's it. I don't overthink it. I don't cook a lot. It's very time consuming, right, to meal prep. So you want to make sure that you can be as efficient as possible. So I focus on 2 main recipes. Sometimes I'll throw in like a veggie side recipe if I'm feeling, you know, a little adventurous. But that's it. And then what I do is, so those are like the 2 bases for my container allotment. So I'm going to be eating from those recipes. And then what I do is I have the, they're not color coded on this, but I have like the red container, purple container, green container, blue container, orange, and yellow. So these are my snacks. These are very basic foods that I enjoy snacking on. So for the red container, my snacks are hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, whey protein, and Shakeology. For purple, this week we're snacking on bananas, dates, and blackberries. Green, bell peppers, carrots, and cherry tomatoes. Those are my veggie snacks for the week. For blue, we have some avocados, we have some nuts, and we have some cheese. Orange, I have nuts and I have seeds. And the great things about like dates, nuts, and seeds, you can just buy a big bag of them and keep them in your cupboard so you always have them on hand. So those containers, I always have those containers covered in my cupboard. And yellow, I have rice cakes and wheat bread. So I make toast and I make rice cakes with some peanut butter, with natural peanut butter. So that's it. This is all the planning that I do. I pick 2 recipes and then I decide which snacks I want to go for. And what I do is I track, let me fix this so you can see the screen. I track with the 21 Day Fix app. So you can download this in the App Store. It's the official Beachbody one. You will see a lot of different ones when you search 21 Day Fix, but it's the official Beachbody one. So when you log on, it's going to have you pick regular 21 Day Fix or 21 Day Fix Extreme. I'm following Extreme right now. So it's going to have you enter in, I'm female, and then I'm going to enter in my weight. My activity level is low, and it's automatically going to calculate all of the containers that I need for that day. So you can see here I need 3 veggies, 2 fruits, 4 proteins, 2 carbs, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 2 teaspoons. So pretty simple. It tells you what workout to do that day. You can track your weight on here. You can also track your measurements. There's a section at the beginning on the home screen. You can track your measurements and your weight goals. And so, for example, for breakfast, I had some eggs. And the great thing about this is you can click on the containers and it's literally going to give you a list of so many different food options for that container. Super, super simple. So you don't have to overthink it. If you look on here, it says eggs, 2 large. That equals 1 red container. So I don't even have to use the container. That's my second hack. I rarely ever use the container to actually measure things. What a concept. I hardly use the container. So the recipes tell you the container equivalents. It says, okay, 1 cup of this soup is going to equivalent, is the equivalent of 1 yellow, 2 green, and 1 red. It tells you in all of the recipes. So for my snacks, I know I'm going to have like probably 1 of each of those recipes in here. So you can put it in for lunch or dinner. And then breakfast, I had 1 protein, I had some sauteed spinach, I had 1 veggie, and I had a piece of toast. I had carbs, and that had a teaspoon of peanut butter on it. Done. So you can see there for breakfast, those are all of the containers that I used up, and now in all the squares, it tells me what I have left. So I let my phone do all of the work for me. So I don't really have to think about the container equivalents very much, because I have 2 recipes that are 21 Day Fix approved. And then from there, I just fill in as needed with the snacks that I have on hand. I prep them ahead of time so they're in little baggies. and I can just grab them and go. And that way it's super easy. So you definitely don't have to overthink this meal prep. Of course, when you have more than 2 people in a family, it kind of puts a little plot twist on it, but it's very doable. A lot of these recipes are delicious and families love them, so families can still eat healthy and enjoy their food too. I definitely believe that, but don't overthink meal prep. So use a crock pot, double recipes and freeze some of it, and put together some really simple, easy snacks that you can kind of fill in the gaps with. And tracking that with the 21 Day Fix app is a great way to hold yourself accountable and make sure that you're on track with your nutrition, which is the most important thing. So hopefully these tips help you guys and give you a little insight on what I do with my meal prep and how I plan out my week. Let me know if you guys have any questions.